Hey guys, this is Ray at P2P Crypto signing in on March 23rd, 2018. It's Friday, and the best way to start off the weekend is by starting with a glass of wine. You don't need any reason to start off the weekend but with a glass of wine, but I think it gives a special mention to what Electroneum has done today. They've come out with the Electroneum synopsis, the executive summary, what we call as a charter. That's what we call in software project management. We'll talk more about that, but let me get a glass of wine. Let me take a sip here and then we'll kick this off. Sweet. All right. I'm in a good mood today. I'm in a good mood always, but it's a special day today for the reason that Electroneum has put together this document which they've published, and I was reading through that document. There's some things which we need to look at and pay some close attention to what they're saying in that, and that's what I want to discuss here today. But before we go into that, if you're a new user coming in, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel with the bell notification so that you get updates as and when it happens. All right. Okay, let's take a look at what I'm talking about. The first thing I want to do is I put in some effort here to put a document. It's a 16, they call it a 16-page document. But when I started to look at that and analyze the document, there's a couple of pages where there is data or content which we already know about. I wanted to bring the specific content which we want to be talking about when we are talking with our partners, when we are talking with the vendors. It should be a plan on a page or content on a page. If you can place together, because when you go to executive leadership teams and you want to present it, they don't have the time to go through the 16 pages of a document. I've learned this the hard way in the project management space, and I remember meeting one of the C-level executives one time in my consulting job, and I had this huge charter which I had written, and it contained a lot of information. But when you go with the executive leadership, all they ask for is, what are the key important points which you want to let me know? So, and that's where I thought, okay, let me put this together. I spent some time putting this together. So in those 13 pages, I think all you had is about 6 or 7 pages which had the real content. So I put that together in this. So there's about 6, 4 plus 3, 7. There's one missing here. I think I had that, but it got chopped off. That's okay. I'll try to rectify that. But you're looking at the mobile mining statistics here. We'll go into the detail about that. At a high level, I'm just talking about the new ecosystem, the new partnership which is there, the operator partnerships, the user percentage around the globe. We talk about the mobile operator benefits. This is your ecosystem basically. This is what it is, and the partnership progress where we are. So I want to first give a little feedback on the document, because you have to pay attention to detail when you are producing a document, and this is not a big deal, but I just want this to be brought to the attention of Electroneum. When they come out with a document, they have to proofread that, make sure because people look at these documents, you're producing this document to, if this is the document which will be produced to, I don't know who the audience is, but looking at the content of this document, it looks like it's a private and confidential document, and it will be probably given to some of the network operators too, and any potential partners who they are talking currently. So if I look at this document, let's go to the document and open up. So this is your document here, a very nice written document, no doubt about it, but I want to pick on certain things here. This is just a constructive feedback, and I want Electroneum to rectify this going forward. Do a proofread. You have a lot of people, so make sure that there is a person who proofreads this. The first thing is, if you go down here, the content is good, the index is good here. You have starting with 16 pages here. Then if you look at this 13 page, you have the index, the appendix here. and 14, 15, and 16, there's three pages after that. So this is your index. Now if I go down here to the 13th page, the appendix is there, but this 14th and 15, it's not needed here. They're just saying that it's already mentioned in the index. You don't need to have another page here. But if they're putting this as a title here, they could all as well put it in the same page, or if they had the intention to put it, that's fine. But the second thing is they had 16 pages, right? Here it says 14 and 15. And if you go back here, 16 was your contact, lightning synopsis was your 15, cryptocurrency legacy was your 14. But there in under the appendix they say 15 is the contact, so that's a little bit of a discrepancy there. So let's go back here. See, 15 is the contact. That's okay, that's understandable. But if they can rectify that, that'll be good. So you have page numbers displayed at the top of the page here, 14. Then you are missing the 15 number here under the page number after 14. The 15 is missing, and it says under here 15 is contacts, but there's no page 15. Actually 16 is the contacts, and there's no page number here. So these are small minute details which have to be paid attention to, because the details are what really matters when you talk about projects. As far as I know, when we do project management, when we meet certain leaders, I had a mentor who really paid attention to detail. The first impression you get is how detailed are you when you're presenting any kind of document the first time you're giving this. And this is a very important document as far as I know. So I want Electroneum to make sure that they are doing some kind of proofreading before they release that. Minute details, again, like I said, beautiful document, nothing to worry about, but just some feedback coming from me here. All right. Now let's go to the meat of this content. Let me take another sip here before we continue. This is some good wine. All right. Let's take a look at that. Let's go back to our page here, the plan on a page, or this ecosystem on a page. The first one is mobile mining statistics. We already know that the users earn up to $3 of ETN per month. So they are committing this now that it won't exceed $3. It's in the range of $2.80 to about $3. So that's a good thing. At least the expectations are being set right now, and we are committing to that $3 ETN per month per, I think it's per month, for a specific mobile or a specific device. I need to confirm that. Is it for a specific account, or is it going for a specific devices? I'm not sure about that. So some more clarity is needed. Again, I thought about another feedback here before we go back into that. There are a lot of things here which are abbreviations, right? You talk about ARPU, NPS. I'll talk in more detail about that. If you can have a glossary with all these abbreviations spelled out. If you look at a charter, a project charter, it has the org structure and all that, but we don't need that here. All we need is an abbreviation, because if you're talking to a non-technical person, or even I did not know about the NPS, I had to go and look it up. So if you have somewhere at the last page which explains the glossary, which says that NPS is the promoter, whatever that means. Like if you open up here, I opened that up for later viewing that later on. It's the net promoter score. Okay, I had to read through that, so I'm spending time on that. So if you have that inside of this document here, it makes a lot convenient for people to just go down to the last document. Oh, okay, that makes sense. And ARPU, what does that mean? Average revenue per user, right? So all these are small things which matter a lot, which go a long way in making sure you leave an impression, right? But that's just my thinking, just some feedback coming from me. Again, let's get back to this. So the partners earn up to $1 of ETN per month. Now, when we talk about partners, we're talking about the network mobile operators. There's about a lot of agreements which are in place, and we'll talk more about that, which they talk about the partnerships which are there. So they're saying that based, I'm sure that they've done some kind of calculations, and they're saying up to $1 of ETN per month, I think it's per user, they will be getting for the partners as an incentive through referrals or any other means. So that's a good thing. That's a good incentive for one of some of the users out there, or the partners out there. So that will encourage the partners to bring in more users so that the number of users increase. They get more of those revenues coming in from the Electroneum ecosystem there for them. Now, this is the second one here, the new ecosystem which they talk about, the unified signal. And the coin. We already know about coin. The unified signal is a second partner which has a massive user base, a subscriber count. We'll talk more in detail about that after I cover all of this, because I have a lot of content to cover on the unified signal. I have some things which I want to cover out there. Let me make sure uh, the notifications has to be subdued, because I think that's causing, the last time I had the same problem. Notifications off. There you go. Sorry about that. All right. The third one here is the operator partnerships. How do we promote, engage, and spend? Okay. So let's go back to the document and read about it. See, the operator partnerships, they're talking about how are we promoting through Telegram, through messages, through mail, different kinds of avenues or medium through which they'll be sending out and promoting the marketing activity to onboard some of the customers into the Electroneum ecosystem, right? They want to influence certain users who are there and bring them into the fold. They want to engage all these users. Now, I'm not sure about what these mean here, but I'm thinking that they mean certain kind of influencing factors or triggers which will keep the users engaged coming into the ecosystem. Spend is, I think we all know how they are planning to spend Electroneum once they are with the partnership at restaurants, by goods and services. This is probably Starbucks coffee. You go like you're having at a bar, the drinks, I don't know what this is, but this is again a lot of things are beverages here. It looks like this is repeated here, this and this. So this and this is repeated. I think couple of them are actually repeated here. See, these are the small details again, right? It could be different brands, but when I'm looking at this, I pay a lot of attention to detail, because that's how you actually are executing things, right? The devil is in the details, that's a saying. So make sure that you address those when you put these as the icons too, right? I think it starts off from here, it continues with the same thing. There's the same icons, redundant icons here. We just need to clarify that and make sure we have some distinct ones there. All right. The agreements are already in place with 11 partners, giving reach to over 130 million plus users in more than 30 countries. So this is a massive user base or a subscriber count we are looking at with partnerships in place. We already have about 11 partners. I had created a matrix in my past videos on Electroneum where we had about 5 partnerships which are officially announced. The big ones like Zaius, excuse me, we had the B Media company which has links with Fox and big multinationals out there. So this is a good page which we need to explore, the partnerships, and because that is what is really going to keep the sustainable ecosystem of Electroneum going and keeping that in play. So that is another important part which we talked about here, the operator partnerships. The next one is the users around the world. What this really signifies here is that it's a good thing, because I remember Richard initial stages of Electroneum when he had the opportunity to go and sell his concept to one of these guys in Dubai or the Middle East Asia. He was willing to buy all of it or put a stake in as an accredited investor, but the whole concept of mass adoption would be completely defeated if that was done. So Richard Els at that time had a vision of spreading this, distributing this on a decentralized technology, right? So this is exactly what is happening. The vision which was envisioned as part of the Electroneum concept is actually seeing that come through in real life. What we are seeing here, the distribution in North America, we have 24.7%, 21.9% in Europe, 21.2% in Asia. Now, this doesn't add up to 100%, so I'm assuming there's the remaining probably 30 plus 37, 38%. I'm not sure where they are, probably distributed across different pockets of the world out here. I'm sure there's Africa presence too, Australia presence, different continents out there. So I'm sure that that's there, but he's covering the major players where they are in the Electroneum holders and where there is users around the world. So this is a good infographic here, spreading the user percentage across the world. Okay. Now, let's go look at the mobile operator benefits. What are the benefits? So let's go back to our slide here. I'm jumping pages, so I'm just these are the real pages which you need to look at, because don't be overwhelmed with the 16 pages if you want to read through, and that's the reason I'm coming out with this consolidated version here. Just take a look at this, keep this page handy if you want to look at that. Okay, this is all what they're trying to say in the whole charter which they've prepared using those 16 pages. But let's get back to this. Mobile operator benefits. Now here we are talking about the new users. We talk about the average revenue per user. Now what this means basically is that they're looking at from an operator perspective. If there are probably, we have a gross revenue, right, and there are so many subscribers, if you divide that, it'll give you the average revenue per user. So that gives them an idea how much is actually the performance of that ETN coming in into their mobile operator network from a user who is an Electroneum user, the average revenue coming in. Because if they are using that, now they probably might have some calculations where they might deduct some of the offset of the costs which are there. So they're talking, when it's revenue, it's the profits we're talking about. So if there is a user, we are talking about 130 million users, right? Each user is bringing revenue to the network mobile operator. Now, how does that help the, because it's all business, it's all about how can they benefit by getting Electroneum into their fold. They already have an established business, so they need to look at the statistics out there, whether they are really getting value out of the Electroneum coming into the ecosystem of those network mobile operators. So that is very important for them. So they are trying to do that ARPU there. The network promoter score, I think that's what it was, network, or the net promoter score, sorry, NPS, that's what it is. It's a leading growth indicator across industries. It's a measure of customer loyalty. So if you look at this, all this is being implemented as part of that. So how they are classifying that is based on those ratings. They have 3 tiers here. If they are promoters, their loyal customers have the score of 9 to 10, and who will keep purchasing and will refer the business to others. So you're looking at some of these customers who are going to influence other people to get into the fold. Passives, who have the score of 7 to 8, they are the satisfied customers who say, okay, they're not swayed by the competitive offerings, they're just satisfied, they don't have anything much to say. The detractors are the ones you need to look out for. They have a score of 0 to 6. They are the unhappy customers. Now you cannot make everyone happy, but at least you can say that what is that we can do to make sure that you can bring them into the promoters or the passive tier, so that they can spread the word and increase the subscriber count there. So this is what the net promoter score is, and that's what they talk about in this NPS here. I'm not sure what tenure means. Tenure is basically the term, so they're probably talking about the contracts there. The revenues, it's already there, we talked about it. The new user, so these are the benefits they are just trying to explain, and they talk about the $1 per month per user. I'm not sure entirely clear about how it's calculated, but I'm sure that Electroneum has done some kind of statistics, some kind of calculations on that, and they're coming out with that. Okay. We talked about the operator partnerships. Let's get back to our slide here. And this is another, the ecosystem which we talked about. Let's go back to that. The Electroneum ecosystem. Yeah, a sustainable ecosystem, that's what you want. The value into the ETN ecosystem and value from the ETN ecosystem. How is the money coming in? How is the money going out? Because if you have a business, all you talk about is how can I get every dollar which comes into your business. You have to account for that. Where is that dollar being spent? Is it going out for certain utilities? It's going out for some kind of promotion, marketing, wages, a lot of things on each dollar. How many cents are going towards implementing the business, running the business, managing the business, and what is left of that dollar is what actually is your profit after the taxes, EBITDA, whatever that accounting terminologies are. The money going out, we talk about trade on an exchange, peer-to-peer transfer, right now, but more of this is more about the business. They have this unified wallet here, which is that unified we'll talk about that unified signal here. This is the ETN wallet. You have the instant cryptocurrency payment, then you have the debit cards. Coin is the exchange which we talked about. I had made a video on that. Cryptos and coin are the same. Coin is the exchange which actually supports the US, Euro, Japanese yen. It's a Japanese exchange, which is a fiat liquidity platform. So you have a direct relationship with your fiat currency there, and you can use that on a debit card. So this is more in Japan, but I'm not sure how will that be implemented in the other parts of the world. We need more clarity on that. Hopefully, Coin can come out with some kind of agreements with the other countries when they are in the other regions, and I'm sure something will be worked out where we can see the mass usage where cryptocurrency does not have to be just on a mobile phone, right? You can start using the debit cards where it'll be that currency can be converted into fiat or vice versa, and then it'll be very easy to use. Because I don't see a system where it'll just be cryptocurrencies. I'm sure that we'll have a parallel system along with the fiat. Fiat is not going anywhere. It'll be along with the cryptocurrency. There'll be a parallel running stream where you can use either or, and that's where I see probably in the next 10-15 years where we will see, well, it'll be in mass usage, but starting probably another 2-3 years we'll see some of the usage like hybrid cars. It's still trying to get attention, but we see already some hybrid cars in play right now. So that's what I was talking about here. But again, this is the sustainable ecosystem. I'm sure that they earn Electroneum here. It comes into the system. They pay for goods and services, anything. They can sell peer to P2P transfer, right? How the operators benefited from that through commissions, through transactions. I think VAS, I think value added services, probably core and value added services. See, these are the ones which we need to understand. We need the glossary on that so we can understand clearly. So this is this enables and attracts mass multiple usage and demand. So this is a very good infographic. Kudos to the guys who have created this infographic, the sustainable ecosystem. So this is a beautiful graph here, which is very clear to understand out here. All right, let's get back to our slide again. We've done this. This is done. The last one is a partnership progress. So let's get back to that here. So we have Effortel, which had 5 million customers. In fact, like I said, I had the matrix which I had created. I'd given out what is the count and everything. It's similar to that. The Zayas is 65 plus million customers, about 700,000 users on the B Media, and Fanfare has about 1 million customers. Now Red One is about to be announced. That's what they say, the mobile virtual network operators with about 1 million customers. There's other partners under non-disclosure agreement, so we'll see more agreements coming into play. So hopefully these are good things happening. This charter is beautiful. The executive summary of this, the synopsis, it gives a good understanding of where we are headed and are we headed in the right direction. I believe that we are headed in the right direction, so we'll see more and more people believing this, that what Electroneum is doing is something which will impact the future prospects of how this will be integrated into the other common day transactions, the payment systems, and the banks, probably, hopefully in the gaming industry. So let's hope for that in the future, how it comes about. So that's what I was talking about in this whole infographic here. Now I want to talk more about the unified signal here. So let's get back to this, not to that, this one. So unified signal, if you look at this, I was reading through that, and on their website I was able to find under the news press releases, there was this unified signal to power Kinesis Limited suite of asset-backed blockchain enabled digital currencies. Now this caught my attention. What is Kinesis and what are they trying to do with this asset-backed blockchain enabled digital currency? So I started digging around. The unified signal is has one of the offices in Kirkland, Washington here, and that press release came out of that on March 22nd, which is yesterday. So let's go and read about this. So this is the same article which I pulled up with much bigger font here. So they say that unified signal, which we are actually partnering with, when we say we, I'm talking about Electroneum. So Electroneum has partnered with unified signal. If you look at this here in this infographic, this is the unified wallet and this is the ETN wallet. So they are integrating that into the unified wallet, and this will be used as currency, right? And that's my understanding. So now let's get back to this and read about this Kinesis deal, what they have here. This was actually released yesterday. So Unified Signal is a leading billing and back office enabler who has developed an enterprise level billing solution enabling companies to launch their own brand of telecom services as well as mobile wallet and debit card services. Announced today that it will be powering the world's first asset backed yield generating cryptocurrency developed by Kinesis Limited. So this got me a little bit confused. In the initial thought of mine was, okay, they are trying to go with a cryptocurrency which is developed by Kinesis. And if you look more closely, I went to their website. Their Kinesis, welcome to the future of money, a new monetary system for a successful and sustainable future. So this currency is called KVT. If you look at this, they have a Kinesis currency. It will be launched in July of 2018. So I'm thinking that Unified Signal has already an agreement with Kinesis and also an agreement now with Electroneum, because Kinesis is a company which started way back in 2016. They had the conceptualization back then, so they've been in the works. They've been working with Unified Signal. Now they saw that Electroneum has a mass appeal, mass reach. So instead of Kinesis, because I don't know what the hell was Kinesis before this, till I read about Unified Signal. So you can understand the reach Electroneum has and what Kinesis has. So if this was, they have some token sales here, actually they have some token offerings and so on. They have phases, in different phases here. They're currently doing, I think, a pre-sale which is in the phase 2, 15% discount. KVT is the token. So the reason I'm thinking Unified Signal has done this deal with Electroneum and Kinesis, because both are like conflicting, like how do you call that, conflict of interest. I feel that because they have a monetary currency which is the cryptocurrency, Electroneum has the same kind. How is that going to be used? So I think they will have a special segregation in terms of what will be done by the Kinesis asset backed, because they are backed by, I think, gold and reserve currency out there. I think it's more like, I was reading more about this here. If you go to the FAQ, I'll read through this. I wanted to make sure that you guys understand this. Are the Kinesis suite of currencies backed by anything other than real physical precious metals? So these are, no, the entirety of the Kinesis currency suite are backed by either gold or pure silver. So they have their they're backed by just the precious metals, the Kinesis one. But Electroneum is a true cryptocurrency. So I feel that the wallet which we talk about here for Electroneum will make more sense in for the goods and services for payment systems and so on. So I'm not clear about Kinesis even now, but they talk about they'll be enabling the holders of Kinesis. Oh my God. Sorry. This is my Telegram chat here. I think someone was trying to post that messages. I apologize for that dings out there. Ding, ding, ding. I think I need a glass of wine now. Sorry about that again. This is some good wine. I just opened a bottle. All right. Let me see if I can. There you go. That's all that was needed there. All right. The Kinesis Limited has developed the Kinesis suite of digital currencies to achieve a universally adopted, decentralized, asset based monetary system that is disruptively efficient, secure, fair, and commercially powerful. you know what, do we need to go through this? I'm thinking I don't think we'll be wasting our time. Let's focus on Electroneum. So but I just wanted to bring to your attention here, making sure that you understand that this infographic here which we had, the ETN and the unified, is not just about ETN here. There's other deals which are going on with unified signal where they have a conflict of interest with probably the Kinesis. So I want to get some clarity on that. Probably they have the terms and agreements signed with the unified with Electroneum, where they have a special stream just for Electroneum and a special stream just for Kinesis. I don't know, but I'm just thinking that if we are going to get a market share there, we need to get a good market share out of the unified base of customers, so that we can probably push Electroneum much more harder than what Kinesis is trying to do there, right? So that's what I wanted to bring to your attention here. So that's Kinesis. Their ICO is on. They've already closed in and generated about $15 million. The Kinesis KVT ICO. All right. So this is what I wanted to bring to your attention, and you understand that what we are trying to do here is trying to come out with a synopsis, with a charter which says that these are the significant content which is there. Instead of going through the 16 pages, you can have this infographic and you can use this to understand what's going on in the Electroneum world right now. I'm sure this will be updated as and when it more information comes out, but for now I think this will suffice, and we can start looking at what we can do in the future to support Electroneum. I'm sure that Electroneum is still doing more deals. I think when we did the live, when Richard Else did the live Facebook event, he was talking more about some of the trips he wanted to take in different other countries. So I hope that the other deals will fall in place and we'll be looking at more. So before we wrap up, I think this has been a long video, but I wanted to just talk about these. Electroneum, when we saw this has a 10.53%. So let's look at this, 30639. So it's stabilized. The whole market has kind of stabilized, 342. Hopefully we'll be good by Good Friday, which is next Friday, which is a day off. We'll see how that goes. So it's all in the greens. I'm loving this, but it's gone down a little bit. Anyway, all right, guys, that's all I had. I just wanted to bring this and let you know that we are in good shape right now. I'm sure that people who have not believed in Electroneum hopefully will know that we are doing what we can as a community, as a team, as probably it's a very big community. I see some of these YouTubers who are big proponents of Electroneum. They're so passionate about that. So it's a good sign. It bodes well for the Electroneum community, and the Electroneum team knows about that. So let's celebrate for what Electroneum is doing, and a toast to everyone who supports Electroneum, guys. I wish we can share this sometime where we have an Electroneum meet somewhere, and probably everyone can meet up and we can celebrate the success of Electroneum. All right, that's all I had, guys. If you like this video, I wanted to change this. I was fresh coming into this. It's a Friday evening. I thought, let me get a glass of wine and talk leisurely, calmly about this. So this is good things happening. Throw in the comments if you like this video. Hit the like button. I love the comments. Again, I want to thank each and every subscriber who has supported this channel. Thank you very much, and keep up the support. All right, if you're a new subscriber coming in, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so that you'll be getting updates as and when it happens. All right, guys, it's the weekend. Have a great weekend, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. This is Ray at P2P Cryptos, signing off.